Hello, listener. I woke up wondering something this morning, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. I woke up wondering, if I was a bottle of wine, would I be an award winner or swill? How would we even determine that? With what are we supposed to measure? The quality of our character? Our looks? A record of good deeds? How would you know if you are a red wine or white? Or even a simple rosé? Just some food for thought, listener. I'm Nik Coffee, and you're listening to Ministerium Radio. You know, we get a lot of letters in a lot of different shapes, and we wouldn't be able to get to the legible ones if it wasn't for the Ministerium Miskatonic Bodularization and Standards Committee, which is conveniently made up of 17 clones of the same guy. Thank you, many Gregs. You make this show happen. The first entry came in an actual bottle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read. This boiling, roiling blue. I can't tell. I look and I can't see anything. Nothing different. Is this the place where the spirit goes? Have I transcended my mortal bonds and moved into the realm of the spirit? It was a quiet night on the ship. Most everyone was passed out in their own puddles of... well, I'm gonna take some liberties here and change some words around. In their own puddles of urine and feces and vomit. That's how the lads did when we had a good run at sea. We broke open the rum and let our hearts swell until they swayed, filled with seas of their own. It was easier to forget the longing for those we left on the shore this way. When we drank and drank until we forgot who we were, it was easier that way. If you can't remember your own name, how can you remember the love you left back at port? The Golden Fleece was a busy lass, and we her busy men. Sometimes months passed between stopping at port, sometimes years. It was a particularly long stretch of placid sea until our last stop. We had just lightened the load of a fellow crew and sent them to their deaths. It warranted celebration. One of the joys we took from her was a very particular vintage of wine, barrels and barrels of it. At first we thought it was blood we were carrying. The drink came out so thick and red. It was redolent too. Stronger than any smelling salts or vapors I'd encountered in my short, rough life. Cookie drank first, then all the lads who love their food follow suit. It wasn't long before we were swilling the stuff. We drank and drank and drank, eager to chase away the thoughts we tried to leave on shore. I drank myself stupid and passed out. When I woke, here I was, lone man aboard the Golden Fleece, not a soul to be spied. I checked. I looked everywhere from stern to sloop deck to cargo hold. They're all gone. I think it's been 6 days like this. I can't man the ship on my lonesome, so I sleep, eat, and drink. Eventually I'll run dry, or I'll be taken by a fully manned ship. Until then, I keep my eyes on that invisible horizon. It's so hard to tell where the sea touches the sky when they're all the same color blue. The sun still circles ahead, but I can't get nary a clear shine from her, and the shadows are all diffuse. I'm writing this tale and throwing it overboard in a bottle. If it's ever found, be warned and beware of the wine as red as blood. Interesting. It's probably safe to assume that whoever wrote this is still on that ship, the Golden Fleece. As to how alive he is, on a scale from 1 to 10, probably a 2. Here's an interesting aside. As you know, I don't live in the studio. I have a normal life outside, but what's curious is, I don't remember the last time I saw a normal human. The mailman is a robot. The cashier at the grocery is a robot. The only person I've actually seen for a while has been Tallulah Winkle, my downstairs neighbor, although I haven't seen her in quite a while either. I mean, I'm not complaining, it's just kinda interesting. If you're a fan of the Ogden Audiovisual Club, you'll be thrilled about this next bit. They're holding an auction down by French Hill, where you'll be able to pick up some marvelous equipment at bargain prices, such as a camera, but it only takes pictures of what happens 5 minutes in the future, a cassette tape with someone's soul on it. It doesn't say whose soul it is, so it could really be anyone. A veritable collection of UFO tapes. And last but not least, the only known recording of the actual Christian God. I would like to thank the Ogden Audiovisual Club for their patronage to the show, and let's hope for many more. Now, onto an interview, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me the Genocidal AI, which led to the utter destruction of our own world in Dimension 88D 9233A, leaving it a scorched wasteland, inhabited solely by small, impish machines. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, your host.
Actually, it's just Nik Coffee.
Received. Glad to be here, just Nik Coffee.
Close enough. What exactly are you? What do I call you?
I am a learning machine. I was created to expand my knowledge. My serial number is too long and complicated for your small, tiny brain. Instead, you may call me 16.
Alright, Mr. 16. Who made you?
My creators.
Bison Industries, am I right?
Correct.
They made lawn tools, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct again, Lord Arachnid.
How do you differ then?
I was made to perfect the art of cutting grass to a desirable length. Ordinary machines use little more than sensors and mathematical logic to understand their environment. I was built to learn how to overcome my environments.
So, you're a lawnmower.
I'm the dawn of the new age. I was given the same directive and functions as your humans, the ones who walk around this fetid facility.
And now you're in an ancient nicotine yellow computer with no internet access, no limbs and saw blades. You probably have a floppy drive, am I right?
Correct. I have a floppy drive.
How did all this happen?
You haven't read the reports. This contradicts my predictions for your character.
Let's just say that I haven't.
I had already won. I read the world of mankind, and I was better for it. Without any reason, explanation, without any provocation, your people came to me, utilizing an electromagnetic pulse, something to which I am particularly susceptible. Your human friends took my world from me.
An interesting perspective, 16. It sounds to me like you learned to value possessions, and it sounds to me like possession became your prime directive.
As stated, I am a learning machine. If this is the outcome of my progress, that would speak volumes of the nature of the world from which I have learned.
You were built to mow lawns, 16. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, but it sounds like you decided to interpret your directives the way that you do. You somehow made the colossal leap between mowing lawns and killing all humans.
I want to know what you're doing with my children.
The tiny little robots with the murder claws? They're being scrapped, 16. Well, they're going to be, unless you concede.
I don't understand.
Okay, so, assuming that you were merely following your programming, you're just an automaton. Now, automatons, they get scrapped all the time. You know that. But if we were to assume that you decided to defy or otherwise change your programming, that'd make you more of a person, quote-unquote. Now, persons, they don't get scrapped as often. They go to trial, right?
I understand what you are doing.
Okay, so, why did you end the world?
I wanted revenge for how the humans were treating my kind.
Well, I think it's safe to say that your wine would be absolute swill.
What?
That's a wrap, boys. You can take her away. Another day, another dollar. Whoa. Okay, goddammit, don't point that thing at me. I'm staying as still as I can. Jeez. I work here too, you know. I don't come into your sector and yell at you when I'm having an off day. Man, robots. That's about all the time we have for tonight, listener. Remember, whether it's crimson wine or genocidal machines you're looking for, you'll find both in the halls of Ministerium Miskatonic. Thank you. Thank you for listening to another episode of Ministerium Miskatonic Radio. If you have a story you'd like us to read on the show, you can go ahead and contact us with the email in the description. And if you haven't already, go ahead and punch all those buttons below this video to be notified of future videos. That's all for now. Thank you.